News Talk, 95.1 FM and 790 AM. We are KFYO Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin. It is 8:21 AM and 59 degrees outside. High today shooting for 86. I'll bet you that it's warmer than 59. No rain in the forecast. We're talking with Steve Bergen, the sergeant with the Lubbock Police Department, and we're talking about an outreach program. Here to talk about an outreach program that I have not heard anything about. So all the info that you impart upon us is going to be brand new to me.
Sure.
Good morning and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. We're with the homeless outreach team. We started in February of 2016. And I'll kind of give you just a little background. I presented the idea of a community outreach program to the Chief Greg Stevens. And part of it included a homeless outreach team and some other aspects of it. And he was approached by Imagine Lubbock Together, developers in downtown, and Chamber of Commerce. And they're kind of saying, hey, we're wanting to redevelop. Can you guys help us out with an issue that we're having with some of the homeless folks? And part of what I presented him was that. And he said, you bet, this is the kind of the program we're going to use to do it.
Mm. So I guess the idea is not to go out and harass the homeless people.
No, absolutely. No.
It's just more to, hey, you guys, you need to move maybe away from here or...
Yeah, we kind of did research. We've done training in other cities where they had these teams. Wichita, Kansas, where we actually did our training from. And it's more of trying to connect these folks to services. We've seen a direct correlation, especially with our chronically homeless folks, of mental illness and substance abuse. And when you're dealing with that, that's a pretty tough thing to deal with.
So in Lubbock, do you see more transients come, just kind of passing through, or do you have more of a homeless population?
More of a homeless population. They do a point-in-time count each year in January, which is done by the South Plains Homeless Consortium. And that's kind of a snapshot of demographics and all kinds of things that they talk about and question folks who are homeless. And it's over 80% that are actually from here in Texas.
Well, I'd mentioned before on the air that at Lake Ridge United Methodist Church, we have our Trinity Sunday School class as a burrito ministry. Every Saturday morning we hand out burritos to the homeless in Lubbock. And I have done that several times, so I have some knowledge of what's going on. And it's, you see these people in their natural state, and it can be quite staggering, actually. Sure. Sometimes it's something that takes you back the first time you see it, and even the second and third. But we have noticed that the census seems to change from month to month. There's a lot of transients that seem to come through, and then they'll leave, and the count will go down, and then it's back up. Is that something that you guys notice?
Yes and no. It just depends. Like I said, we've only been going at it for about coming up on 2 years, and so a lot of the demographic stuff, we go off of what the count says because that's more of an in-depth look instead of just saying, oh, there's 3 or 4 people. Because the last point-in-time count had about 434 homeless individuals, and that's quite a few if you kind of think about it.
But we've noticed a lot of like alcohol and drug abuse and mental illness.
Yeah, that's the toughest part.
And it's, I think for most people, they may not be aware that they're. Here's the thing that I think most citizens are unaware of, and you tell me if I'm right. Almost exclusively, you can never say all,
sure,
but almost all the homeless are there because that's where they choose to be. If they wanted a shelter and a bed, they're available in Lubbock.
Yeah, they're definitely available, but kind of goes back to that mental illness. Even though they say that, there's definitely a reason why they're out there on the streets. And that's probably the most toughest thing because they may think in their mind that they're doing fine and they're okay, but this might be like the 4th or 5th call that we're taking on this individual because he may have Tourette's or something along those lines. And that's the tough part is trying to gain their trust to have some help and get them to the services they need.
Okay. So y'all have, I don't know what you'd call it, but like an outreach program right now that's there not only to help the homeless, but also possibly get some people to go see Three Doors Down and have a concert. And let's see, where's that concert going to be? It's in the Cherokee Casino Resort in Cherokee, North Carolina.
Yeah, that's right.
So I mean, it looks like a really neat program. How does that work? How can I get my name on that list?
Yeah, so the House of Furniture, we're actually going to be doing a Trek presentation. Three Doors Down has a foundation that they have, the Better Life Foundation, and they're actually going to be giving us, the PD, a check for $5,000 tomorrow at the House of Furniture. And so if you donate items, backpacks, socks, sleeping bags are kind of a good one for us to give away when the weather's getting cold. You'll be entered in for the draw to win some tickets to go to that.
Can you also donate money?
Yes, you can also donate money to that as well. And I think it's about $25, kind of what they're looking at.
Okay.
Well, very good. Well, what are some of the services that you can kind of hook these people up with?
You name it, we can do it.
Now, and let me ask you this: this is Lubbock Police that are fronting this. Do you take people with you, or is it just a policeman individually that encounters these homeless people?
And so it's us. We try to be as much proactive as possible. When you're being reactive, it's real hard to make a change. So technically, we're not really tied down to the radio. So when we can make contact with somebody, if they're like, hey, I need an ID, we can go to the steps of actually trying to get them an ID. Or if they want to get a job, for example, we can take them to all the services that provide jobs or are available, and we'll actually give them a ride and hook them up.
Will most of them approach you?
Our team, as you can kind of tell, I wear our soft uniform. I'm not in the big brash of our normal uniform that you see. And so, yeah, most of the time they do. And we've been around long enough that most of them know us by name.
Well, your vehicles actually say homeless outreach on them. I've seen them driving around.
Well,
town,
and the word gets around. It's a real tight community,
right?
And the word gets around, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's just it. We also bridge that gap from, maybe they felt, and I've had this told to me, that they didn't feel comfortable, or maybe there was a gap between them and actually just officers making contact if a crime had occurred. And so we've actually been able to bridge that. And somebody may have seen a crime or witnessed something, and we can make contact with detectives and say, hey, this person actually did see something, and they feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah. So they know that you're not there to hassle them.
Right. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, there is a balance between quality of life and helping somebody out. And so we're kind of put in the threshold of that sometimes, and so we have to balance that. Sometimes we still have to make arrests in cases of criminal trespass. That's most of the things we deal with.
So if you are talking to a homeless person, you can tell that they're out of it.
Right.
Is it something you try to talk them into? Hey, let me take you to
mental health provider.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's always the goal, is something along those lines.
And you plead with them to, let me take you there.
Yeah, and you have to build trust, just like you or I. Before somebody's going to listen to you or you're going to do something, it's somebody you have to trust. So.
Well, we're just about out of time. Have we covered all the bases? How can
a little bit?
How can individuals get in touch with you guys and help you?
Yeah,
they need to donate. The city is not funding this.
Right. It's everything that we hand out or that we do is done through donations. So you can call us at 806-775-2975, and that gives us our office number. Leave a message, and I'll definitely call you back.
And make sure you go to the House of Furniture, donate there, get yourself a chance to win tickets to go see Three Doors Down in North Carolina.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very good. Hey, that wraps it up. That's a Thursday edition of KFYO Mornings with Dave King and Matt Martin. Thank you for being here. Have a great day.